Hello, I'm David Bosek, and this is part 4, the Cinema Conspiracy Section C, the shining clue of my continuing series on the moon hoax, which is available on my political news independent magazine channels on YouTube and Rumble. Please make a note in this video, some of the information I talk about and debate with is from the Lagarda book. I also have some of my own theories within the moon hoax theories that I talk about within each and every video. So here we go. When you hear about the movie The Shining, you're going to think of Stanley Kubrick, and you're also going to probably think of the moon hoax conspiracy theory, and that may be why you're watching this video. The cinema theory, which is the term that I prefer, is usually referred to as the studio theory or the Hollywood theory of the moon hoax, which is on page 58 of Lagarda's book. Many experts or researchers of these theories think Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landings. And some of the big red flags they point to in proving this, or why they believe this, is the following. The flag moves with no air. There's too many light sources in the photos of the supposed moon landings. And Kubrick was big on using multiple light sources in his films. He was also big on using very powered or high-powered lamps in the filming of his movies. There's no stars in any of the photos, which basically proves or can prove that they were shot on Earth, because it simply doesn't add up. Stanley Kubrick was very skilled in making movies and directing films. In fact, in my opinion, he may have been the best director of all time. He is up there with all the famous Italian directors such as Fellini and many other Italian directors, Otto Preminger, and many other American directors such as Woody Allen. In my opinion, he was probably the best director of all time because of the complexity of his films. The cinema theory's best points, according to Lagarda, and probably me too, would be the photo issues and inconsistencies within the photo anomalies and the anomalies within the video of Apollo 11. The flag moves. NASA wanted to avoid embarrassment because they had an inability to get to the moon. I believe we couldn't get to the moon. They didn't have the technology. I don't think they have the technology now, so they faked it. Visuals are powerful evidence. The 2001 film looked very real, but it wasn't. It was fake. It was a movie. Keep that in mind. Massive red flag. NASA engineers learned FSP, or front screen projection, on the set of 2001. Many people do not know this to this very day. It's on page 68 of the Lagarda book. In my view, do you really trust any of these people? And why would NASA be learning that technique? Think about it. Are there clues in the movie The Shining from 1980? Yes, I totally believe there are clues to the moon hoax in the movie The Shining, and I'm going to tell you why. It is heavily talked about in the documentary Room 237. There's a few really big red flags that I'm going to talk about now in this film. There's an Apollo 11 sweater worn by the kid Danny in the movie. Why did they do this? Nobody knows. Massive red flag. The moon is 237,000 miles away from Earth. In the hotel in the film, there's a room in the hotel, room 237. Coincidence? No. What would this be? 50 million to 1 it's a coincidence? It was all faked, folks. There's an Apollo 11 launch pad pattern in the hotel carpeting in the movie. There's a moon scene in the film that has absolutely nothing to do with the plot of a man going insane. In the film, it was played by Jack Nicholson. Many of these things, or really all of them, have nothing to do with the plot. And there are many more in the film that I'm going to talk about in subsequent videos. Massive red flags. Real patriots like me question this stuff. Nobody should blindly believe what NASA tells you about anything, or any entity of power for that matter. A lot doesn't add up here. I don't think NASA had the technology to get to the moon, but by logical deduction, I believe they had secret technology to fake all this. Stanley Kubrick could have filmed out in Nevada in the United States. I think it's possible. I think it was probably all filmed, probably mainly in England and mainly in the western grid of the US. Deserts could be Mars. According to Lagarde, the SpaceX launch could be CGI, and I agree with her. The ISS may be a soundstage with green screens. Rovers are like robots on Mars. Sound familiar? Doesn't it sound like Apollo 11 and Voyager and all these other ones? There's zero proof we did any of this. There's zero proof we were ever on the moon. In fact, a lot of this could have been faked by NASA. Remember, Mount High, which is NASA, controls all the images, they control the info, they control everything you see. It's central command, like in the movie 1984. They're controlling everything. Spirit, Opportunity, Curiosity, and Voyager are all like Apollo. They're basically composites of Apollo, and they could be faked. Mars is like a movie, according to Lagarde. Yes. It is a lot like a movie. It looks a lot like a continuous feed with a lot of repetition. Meaning, what are you really seeing? The ground, dirt, desert. And then they claim there's all these theories about Mars. Why do some photos appear continuously? It reeks of a setup. It reeks of something that might be faked. NASA gets $60 million a day to do this. I knew this. A lot of people don't know this. It's on page 17 of Keenan's book. They get your money to go and do this. It's a lot of money. And with a lot of money, you can fake anything. It is possible. Keep in mind, Kubrick only did one space film, and that was 2001. In my opinion, it may be the biggest red flag of the entire hoax. His movies tended to revolve around plots of the rich, conspiracies of the rich, and all kinds of manipulation by the powerful in society. He did one space movie, which was 2001. That's it. Keep that in mind. Massive red flag. The Shining clue is big, but there are others that I'm going to talk about in subsequent videos. I'm even going to keep referring to The Shining in subsequent videos. I hope this video gets you to think. I'm sure it does, and I hope it does. Okay, on to some other things. My next video is going to be on why the Michigan Mackinac Policy Conference is a waste of money when it comes to Michigan politics. If you have an interest in Michigan and Canadian politics, you may want to watch this next video. In my opinion, it's a place where politicians go to get attention and to get bought off by lobbyists. In fact, when I ran for state rep in 2010, I did not attend it. And that was one of the big reasons I did not attend. Okay, on to some other stuff. Please make a note that I no longer have a Spotify account. Once again, thank you for your time. I hope to see you in the next video. It's free to subscribe.